Where it matters the most is when you're learning kettlebells and when you get super heavy. So for the newbie and for the kettlebell nerd, this is very important to have the proper design kettlebell so you can be comfortable with your setup. So the window design matters a lot. It's going to dictate where the kettlebell sits on the forearm. Okay, now when you get a new person with their cleans and their snatches and their Turkish get-ups, they need to get strong and they need to squeeze their hand. And there is a little bit of a learning curve and a training curve with getting a little bit of toughness on the back of the forearm, right? That's why you don't want to just ignore that altogether and chop off part of the kettlebell and just make it seem so easy to sit there. I'll show a kettlebell on the screen here that I'm just talking about where they just cut off the belly of the kettlebell. And I like having the weight of the kettlebell similar to the original design, but you got to remember the original design was based off of counterweights for scales for weighing grain, right? They weren't kettlebells designed for lifting. So I'm taking this into the category of designing these for lifting. I've designed the whole lineup up to 164 kilograms, but currently we have available in stock from 12 kilograms to 32 kilograms. Okay, and we do have molds made. In the P-SPEC, we have 100 to 164 in increments of 8. Okay, so the largest kettlebell lineup in the world, going all the way to 164 kilograms. I wish I kept some of those bells when they first came in, but they're all spoken for. I really look forward to getting another order of those bells in. But yeah, the largest kettlebells in the world. I'm really happy that I pushed the envelope there and got that to become a reality. But my mission isn't complete yet. What I'm going to be doing over the next few years is completing the lineup. So getting all the in-between bells and getting the 36 and the 40, 44, 48, 52, 56, 60, 64, right? All of the bells up to 100 kilograms in the scale that I've done. I have this all mapped out. What's interesting about these bells is the handles gradually get larger with the size of the kettlebell. Not every bell gets bigger, but they go up in stages. And it's designed that way so it feels good. Now, when you get to the 64 kilogram kettlebell, I believe the window height jumps another 2 millimeters to 72 millimeters. So it gets a little bit higher up, so it sits farther down on your forearm, so it feels better. Because when you get super heavy, you want to have that window height so you can utilize the power point of the palm, and you're going to be into a slight amount of extension. You're not going to have a perfectly flexed wrist, at least when you're getting really, really heavy, in my opinion. So there's a little bit of that flexion extension spectrum. Again, I kind of think of it around 48 kilograms is kind of the sweet spot for me, where I like to say, hey, I'm going to allow my wrist to go into a bit of extension. Now, saying that, if you're going into heavier kettlebells, you can just train your presses and everything with an extended wrist like that. You can train that position so you're ready for it, right? But at a certain weight, I think it's not only, it's beneficial to extend the wrist slightly so you can expose the shelf of the forearm. Okay, there's power point of the palm, okay, right here. Okay, and again, when you're playing around with the wrist position, guys, you really got to own your wrist position, and that's where you're going to find the most success with your kettlebell strength. Okay, not just having it flat across. Okay, you can play around with this angle, okay, and getting different amounts of flexion and extension and radial and ulnar deviation. That's radial deviation, that's ulnar. Okay, so play around with this position. Now, I do like what the certification, well, what Strong First puts forward and what I've learned and been taught, and I like it, is to have a strong wrist. And you can notice I have flexion here, so it's a bit of a sock puppet, right? So right now I'm not really utilizing the power point of the palm. Okay, I'm kind of going past the power point of the palm and winning the arm wrestle, right? But when you get heavy, your going to lose the arm wrestle a little bit on purpose. At least I like to do that. Because what is that going to do? It's going to expose the power point of the palm. Okay, and that's what Girevoy Sport is actually, they do that, and that's why that kettlebell handle can be a little bit shorter, because they don't keep their wrist in a stronger position like this, right? They keep it in a relaxed, stacked, ergonomic, efficient position, okay? Hardstyle is tension, okay? Girevoy Sport is relaxation, timing, and rhythm, right? So anyways, play around with that position with the wrist, but that's why this large window is optimal for those that want to progress with a hardstyle kettlebell. These are the best hardstyle kettlebells in the world. I am biased, I designed them, but they feel absolutely amazing in the rack position here. And the balance of the kettlebell is different. So if you can look at these two kettlebells here, right, there's more weight in this kettlebell in the bottom component of this. So this is more bottom heavy. It has a little bit more in the top because the handle is a little bit thicker, as well as it's thicker as it inserts into the kettlebell handle. Okay, so it's gonna feel different when you're doing snatches, when you're doing cleans. Okay, this base is a wider base. Okay, both machined bottoms. Okay, these are the best kettlebells. Okay, I can't stress this enough. When I was finding a supplier to supply the original bells here, the P-SPEC Kettlebells, I didn't fall short at all. This coating, I was a stickler for the coating. Okay, you want to have a high quality coating on kettlebells, rust resistant. It feels amazing. I prefer it to powder coat. Powder coat is kind of cheaper in my opinion, and I just really love the feel and the durability of the powder or the e-coating, which is it's electronically bonded to the metal. It sticks to the kettlebell better. Anyways, so the P-SPEC kettlebells, absolute amazing kettlebells. These are the best kettlebells on the market. If you're a kettlebell nerd, you're gonna absolutely fall in love with these kettlebells. Give them a try right now, okay? And again, these are the best kettlebells in the world, okay? I am biased, again, I designed these kettlebells, but I'm a kettlebell nerd, and you'll love these kettlebells, I can guarantee it. Okay, they come triple boxed, they're gonna come showing up in one nice piece, not banged up. Okay, we take pride in the packaging here as well at Great Lakes Girya Pro. But anyway, check these bells out. They're the best quality kettlebells that you can get, all because of the design of the handle. It sets them apart. Okay, when you cannot get your wrist in that proper position and you struggle with it, which the small window narrows the adjustments that you can make. When you narrow the adjustments that you can make within the wrist, you're giving yourself a disadvantage because you can't set yourself up for success to find the power point of the palm and utilize the leverage of that shelf, right? And again, this is gonna really matter. This is gonna be a comfort thing when you're first getting into kettlebells with your cleans and your snatches, okay, and you're pressing and your Turkish get-up, anywhere with the kettlebell sitting on the forearm, okay? But especially when you proceed down your kettlebell journey and you get into a larger kettlebells, right? It's gonna feel better on your wrist and on your forearm and stacking those bones all the way through. Okay, and these, again, we've designed these kettlebells all the way up to 164 kilograms. The goal is, over the next few years, is to complete the lineup, right? But we need to work with what we have right now, and that's from 12 to 32, and that is the most popular kettlebell sizes, but I am very excited to have the larger kettlebells rolled out in the future, because again, that's how this kettlebell lineup was actually introduced, was through my exposure through heavy kettlebell training and working and communicating with Zach Kirchner and Kettlebell Carl. They helped me design the first bells that weren't called P-SPEC. They were back when I owned Great Lakes Girya Inc., not Great Lakes Girya Pro, two different companies. Okay, that kettlebell design that they helped me out with, I looked at that diligently as I was designing the P-SPEC kettlebells. And you could say that I reverse engineered these smaller kettlebells off of the tweener bells that were designed back in 2020, because that was the optimal design, and that was designing large kettlebells, sizes that were never on the market before, sizes 72, 76, 84, 88, 96, and 100 kilograms. The kettlebell handle design matters. It matters a lot. Okay, and if you see yourself utilizing kettlebells for a long period of time and investing time and effort into this, grab a Great Lakes Girya Pro P-SPEC kettlebell, and it will be with you for life. If you use kettlebells for the rest of your life, you will absolutely love and enjoy this tool. Okay, I'm so proud of the P-SPEC lineup. I am so proud of them, and I can't wait to get the larger kettlebells in the lineup. But for now, check these ones out. They're absolutely amazing. Get yours today. GreatLakesGiryaPro.com. Check it out.